Okay, you guys, part two of removing the silk. Okay, so I went ahead and I undid this, right? In my other video, I don't know if you guys saw it, but you just take some sharp scissors, real delicate little scissors. So I have these as well, and you just put it underneath the clear thread and you snip it, right? You just need to do a couple snips. It'll totally come unraveled. You just pull gently to get it off the lace. Part two, this particular material started to fray. Can you see that? It was starting to fray. So sometimes they do, sometimes they don't. This one did. So I use this off of Amazon. Okay. I like this one because it's nice and liquidy. I put some on a Q-tip. I saturate the Q-tip. I put my fingernail underneath and then I dab the Q-tip. Don't rub because it'll make it fray more. You dab it all along the end. You don't want to put too much because then you don't want it to get crusty because you don't want it to show through. You want it to stay nice and soft. Now this is 2 layers, they usually are. So you put a little bit on each side of it and then it will not fray anymore. And if it does, after you wash it, which it shouldn't, then you just dab a little bit more on. I mean, it's like $3 for one of those. Have it around because if your lace ever stops fraying too, you do the same thing. Once you cut the lace, if it starts fraying, you just put it on the Q-tip and all you need to do is dab it on. You don't want to put too much and have it get crusty. Okay, so you just dab it on with this, and this is dry now, but you can put it on the bottom layer too, right? And then it'll stop. If you still have tiny little pieces, you can take your shears, your little scissors, and you just snip the ends of it that's fraying, okay? Now, here's another thing. When you put these on, because I don't sew them back down. I like them to be loose. Here's 2 things that you can do. If you're putting it on a mannequin head, make sure the way you put it on, it doesn't make this push back or fold back. You got to be real careful the way you put it on your heads to store it because you don't want it to get creased and folded. If it does, no big deal. You can steam it out or you can use a curling iron and flatten it back out if it does get a crease in it. Okay, but when you put it on, just make sure you put it on and you don't pull it forward, you slide it back. Is that right? Am I saying it right? You put it on and you pull it. No, you pull it back. You put it on, you pull it back. That's right. So it doesn't do this. Or you pull it forward. Shoot. I don't know. I'm dyslexic this morning. I need more coffee. But anyway, make sure. And then when you put it on your head, same thing. When you put it on, you don't want it to slide back underneath your head. So put it on and pull it. You don't want to, if you pull it forward, it's going to slide it back that way, right? So make sure when you put it on where you can pull it backwards and it will make this slide forward better, okay? So that's one thing. Here's another thing you can do is you can put scar tape. So let's say this is too far back for you. It's cut too far back. I customize this hairline, so it's very fine here, and I don't want this to show through the hairline. I'm really OCD about not seeing stuff through the hairlines because that's what makes it look realistic, right? So you can put a little piece of scar tape right there and does 2 things. It holds it down, and the lighter the scar tape, depending on your skin, typically the better because most of us have a lighter colored scalp than the skin on our face. Right? So try and go for the scar tape that would match your scalp color. Okay. And there's a variety of different colors out there. But anyway, you put that little piece of scar tape just right here and it does 2 things. It holds that down. Plus it will cover this area in case your hair happens to be showing through if this is cut back too far. I mean, I only cut that teeny edge off. So it's not like I took a lot of it off. I just took off this much of it. And sometimes when it's double like this, they fold it over to sew it. That's what's showing through. It's not that plastic edge. A lot of companies have stopped putting that plastic edge. It's kind of like a plastic, almost like silicone edge on it, which was really making it show through. But it still shows through because it's double. It's that double piece, and you don't want that double flipped over piece. They do it so it doesn't fray, right? But so you want to cut it off so it doesn't show through at all. And let me see if I can hold this for you. So it doesn't show through at all, but they do it so it doesn't fray. But I mean, look at that. You can't see it through there. I mean, you can see the different color because my finger's there, but there's no white line. Like once that's on your head, you are not going to be able to see that. It's going to be a perfect transition. Look at that hairline. She's gorgeous. I'm almost done with her. Okay. So that's something. And then, you know what? I'm going to show you another thing I do. When I am doing my hairlines, I put it, such a goof. I put it on white when I'm plucking and customizing hairlines. Put it on something lighter colored unless you have a real blonde wig. And then you're going to put it on, if it's really blonde, you put it on darker. But if it's really light colored, then you're going to put it on here so you can see. You can see what you're doing, right? And I can teach you how to pluck hairlines if you're interested in that. I'm still working on her. We're getting there. Anyway, that's my tip. Kind of a longer video than I planned to do, but that's my tip on these liners. All right, have a good day. Let me know if you guys need any other help with anything.